In the first question, it says work out 0.05 times 0.3. So what we'll do is, we'll rewrite 0.05 as a fraction. So that's going to be 5 over 100. Why 5 over 100? Because you move the decimal 2 places to the right. Times 3 over 10, because we moved the decimal 1 place to the right. So 5 times 3 is 15. 100 times 10 is 1000. So once again, I'm going to move the decimal 3 places, but towards the left now. So that's going to be 0.015. 600 divided by 0.2. So let's rewrite 0.2 as a fraction, which is going to be 2 over 10. Take the reciprocal of 2 over 10 and then change the division into multiplication. So it's going to be 600 times 10 over 2. 600 times 10 is 6,000. 6,000 divided by 2 is 3,000. Then we have 20 minus 12 divided by brackets 8 minus 6. We're going to apply the rules of bid mass. B is for brackets. I is for indices. D is division. M is for multiplication. A is addition, and S is for subtraction. So since we start from B and move on to S, so first we'll do the brackets. So I'm going to do 8 minus 6 first. That's going to be 20 minus 12 divided by 2. Now we'll do division. So that's going to be 20 minus 6, and 20 minus 6 is 14. The rectangle is split into squares of 2 different sizes. Find the fraction of the rectangle that is shaded gray. So let's draw all of the squares first and see what is the total number of squares. So total number of small squares we have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in one row and 3 in one column. So total is going to be 7 times 3, which is 21. Now if you look at the shaded ones, 4 over here and 1 over here. So shaded is 5. So fraction of shaded gray is going to be 5 over 21. Question 3 says find the decimal which is exactly halfway between 305 and 68%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert 305 into a percentage as well. So that's going to be done by multiplying 305 by 100. The reason why I'm converting into a percentage is because I want to compare quantities in the same type. So either we compare fractions to fractions, decimals to decimals, or percentages to percentages. So that's going to be 300 over 5, which is basically 60%. Now we want to find a decimal which is halfway between 60 and 68%. So halfway is going to be 64%, and 64% as a decimal will be found by doing 64 over 100, which is going to be 0.64. Part B says write 4.07382 correct to 3 decimal places. So that means we look at the 4th decimal place, which is 8. Now since 8 is greater than 5, that means we'll round the 3rd decimal place to a number greater than it. So it's going to be 4.74. If 8 was less than 5, then 4.073 would remain as it is. Then it says evaluate the cube root of 64. Now we know 64 is 8 times 8. 8 is 4 times 2. and 8 is 4 times 2 again. So 64 can be rewritten as 4 times 4 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 can be rewritten as 4 again. So 64 is 4 cube. So if we take the cube root of 4 cube, that's going to be 4. Because basically what we do is we multiply 3 with 1 over 3, and that's going to equal to 4 to the power of 1, which is 4. In the next question, Sonu records the temperature in degrees Celsius at midnight every day for 12 days. Here are the results in order starting with the coldest. Find the ranges of the temperatures. So for the range, we subtract the minimum value from the maximum value. Minimum value over here is -6. Maximum value is 7. So we're going to do 7 minus -6, which is 7 plus 6, and that's going to be 13 degrees Celsius. Part B says the median temperature is 1 degree Celsius. Find the value of T. So we have a total of 12 days, so 12 values. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are our middle values. We have 5 values before -1 and we have 5 values after T. So -1 plus T over 2 is going to equal to 1. Why? Because since we have an even number of data values, so our median is going to be the average of the two middle values. So two middle values are -1 and T, and we find the average that equals to 1. So that means -1 plus T equals to 2, and 2 is T, and T is 2 plus 1, which is 3. So value of T is 3. And the next question says, Anna and Ria share some money in the ratio 5:9. Ria receives $8 more than Anna. Work out the total amount of money that is shared. So if you do Anna over Ria, that is basically 5/9, according to the ratio that we have. And since Ria receives 8 more than Anna, so if Anna is X, Ria is X plus 8. So this is our equation that we're going to solve. We're going to cross multiply 5 times X plus 8 equals to 9X. 5X plus 40 equals to 9X. 9X minus 5X equals to 40. So that's 4X. That means X equals to 10. So total amount of money that is shared is going to be X plus 8. That is 10 plus 10 plus 8. That is going to be $28. Question 6 says, AB and CD are parallel lines. EC and FB are parallel lines. Angle ABF is 73. Find the value of X. So in parallel lines, there's a rule that your corresponding angles are equal. This angle and this angle. These are corresponding angles. And since corresponding angles are equal, X is going to equal to 73. Then it says, find the value of Y. Once again, since corresponding angles are equal, this angle and this angle, they're corresponding. So this is also going to be y. So since x and y lie on a straight line and the supplementary angles, so 180 is going to be x plus y. So 180 equals to 73 plus y. 180 minus 73 is y. And that is going to equal to 107 degrees. Question 7 says shape A and triangles P and Q are drawn on a centimeter square grid. Describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle P onto Q. So if we compare P and Q, it's not a reflection because there's the image isn't like a mirror image. Q isn't a mirror image of P. It's not an enlargement because the size is exactly the same. It's not a translation because the direction has changed. So since the direction of the shape has changed, that means it's a rotation. So for rotation, what we do is we first find the center of the rotation, and then we see by what angle the shape has been rotated and in which direction. So if we look at this shape, this shape has been rotated at 90 degrees clockwise because it's going in this direction, and your center of rotation is 0, 0. Why 0, 0? Because if we compare the distance of this point and this point over here, it's 1 unit horizontally and 5 units vertically. Same over here, 1 unit horizontally and 5. Now over here, it's 5 units horizontally and 1 unit vertically. And the change is because of the change in direction. The horizontal and vertical distance switch. Shape B is enlargement of shape A. The center of enlargement is 5, 5. The area of shape B is 27. Draw shape B on the grid. So 5, 5 is our center of enlargement. So that's going to be over here. And area of shape B is 27. So first we need to find the scale factor. To find the scale factor, the formula we use is area of the enlarged shape, which is B, divided by the area of the original shape, which is A. So what we will do is area of enlarged shape is given as 27, and area of A can be found using the shape. Since there are 3 boxes, so we'll do 3 square. So that's going to be 27 over 9, which is 3. So this is our scale factor. Since our center is 5, 5 over here, now if you look at the distance of this point from our center of enlargement, that's 2 blocks. So that means the enlarged shape will have a distance of 6 blocks from that point because the scale factor is 3. So 3 times 2 is 6. That is going to be this point. So I'm just going to mark this over here with a different color. This point is this point. So this point is going to be, now since this is 2 blocks, that's going to be 6 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This point, use a different color over here, this, for this. And then this is going to be 3 blocks down. And this 1 block is going to be 3 blocks over here. So 1, 2, 3. And this is going to be again 6 blocks down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And lastly, this is going to be 3 blocks. So again, over here. So this is our enlarged shape. You can compare the colors with each if you're still confused. Enlarged actually. So we multiplied the distance of the shape A for each length by 3. So whenever we're like there's a distance of 2, then it becomes a distance of 6 for shape B. And wherever the distance is like 1 unit, so that becomes 3. And if we compare the distance of the green point from the center, so that was 2 unit, and over here it's 6 units because 2 times 3 is 6. So everything got multiplied with 3 basically. Question 8 says, write the number 0.00493 in standard form. So we'll move the decimal 1, 2, 3 places to the right. That's going to be 4.93 times 10 to the power of negative 3. Then evaluate 4 times 10 to the power of 9 times 2 times 10 to the power of negative 2 in standard form. So 4 times 10 to the power of 9 times 2 times 10 to the power of negative 2. Multiply 4 and 2 and combine the 10 to the power of 9 and 10 to the power of negative 2. So that's 8 times 10 to the power of 9 minus 2. Why 9 minus 2? Because it's one of the rules of indices where if we are multiplying same bases, we add the powers. So 9 plus minus 2 is going to be 8 times 10 to the power of 7. Write 180 as a product of its prime factors. 180 is 30 times 6. That's going to be 3 times 10, which is 5 times 2, and 6 is 3 times 2. So 3 is a prime factor, 5 is a prime factor, 2 is a prime factor, again 2 is a prime factor, and 3 is a prime factor. So that's going to be 2 square times 3 square times 5. This is 180. In part B, what we'll do is, they're saying that 180 is the lowest common multiple of 36 and n. We have to find the value of k. So 180, as we did, was 2 square times 3 square times 5. 36 is 2 square times 3 square. And n is 2 square times 3 times k. Since 180 is the lowest common multiple of 36 and n, that means k has to equal to 5. By writing each number correct to one significant figure, estimate the value of this. 1240 is going to be 1000. 3.8 is going to be 4. And 11.2 is going to be 10. So that's going to be 1000 times 4 over 10, which is going to be 4000 over 10. That is 400, and that's going to be 20. Solve 7m minus 3 less than equal to 8. We take the 13 to the other side, so it's going to be 8 plus 13, which is going to be 21. 21 over 7. And that's your answer. Question 12 has a set of simultaneous equations and they want us to solve it. Find the value of x and y. I'm going to do elimination method for this. And for the elimination method, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a variable that I want to eliminate. I'm going to eliminate y. The reason why I'm going to eliminate y is because if we compare the coefficients of y, in the first equation, the coefficient is 4, and in the second equation, the coefficient is 2. So which means if we multiply the second equation by 2, we can easily like get rid of the variable. So if I multiply 3x minus 2y equals to 15 by 2, so that's going to be 6x minus 4y equals to 30. Now if we compare this with the first equation, since the variable y has the same coefficient, now we can easily add the two equations and get rid of y. So when we add the equations, 6x plus 5x is 11x, minus 4y plus 4y is 0, and 30 plus 14 is 44. So 11x equals to 44, and x equals to 44 divided by 11, which is 4. Now to find y, we put x equals to 4 in one of the equations. If I put it in the first one, it's going to be 5 times 4 plus 4y equals to 14. That's 20 plus 4y equals to 14. 4y is 14 minus 20, which is negative 6. So y is going to be negative 6 over 4, which is negative 3 by 2. So that is your y value. A list of 8 numbers has a mean of 12. The first 5 numbers have a mean of 9. Find the sum of the remaining 3 numbers. So x plus y plus z plus a plus b plus c plus d plus e. So these are 8 numbers. I'm going to assume these 8 numbers, when divided by 8, equal to 12, which is the equation for the mean for these 8 numbers. So the sum is going to equal to 8 times 12, which is 96. Now, they say that the first 5 numbers have a mean of 9. So if you look at the first 5 numbers, that's x plus y plus z plus a plus b. These 5 numbers have a mean of 9. So that means their sum is going to equal to the product of 9 and 5, which is 45. So now to find the sum of the remaining 3 numbers, which is basically these 3 numbers, we do c plus d plus e is going to equal to 96 minus 45, which is going to equal to 51. So 51 is the sum of these 3 remaining numbers. Question 14 says measure angle ABC. So you'll use your protractor, put your protractor at B, and you will measure this angle over here. Then it says, using compasses and a straight edge only, construct the perpendicular bisector of AC. To construct the perpendicular bisector of AC, first you'll measure the length of AC. Let's say the length is 8 centimeters. I'm just going to assume that. So what you will do is you will open your compass to more than half of the length, which is like, let's say 5 centimeters. Open the compass to 5 centimeter. Then you put your compass at C and you draw an arc above and below the line, then you again repeat the same steps from A, maintaining the same length. You will put your compass on A and draw an arc above and below the line. So once you've done that, you will join the intersection points of the arcs, and this line will be your perpendicular bisector. Of A, okay? And you can even check that by measuring the distance. Half of the distance, this half would be 4 and this half would be 4. Then it says, on the diagram, shade the region inside triangle ABC that is nearer to A than to C and more than 6 centimeters from B. So to do that, what you'll do is you will open your compass to 6 centimeters, put it at B and draw an arc from B to show that this distance is 6 centimeters. And since the point is nearer to A than C, then you will mark your point somewhere in this region. Like I'm just roughly telling you, but like once you draw it correctly, it would be somewhere near over here. Question 15 says the second term of a linear sequence is 28. The fifth term of the sequence is 16. So if you make the sequence, this is going to be T1, the first term, T2, which is 28, T3, we don't know, T4, we don't know, and T5, which is 16. Find the first term, third term, and the fourth term of the sequence. So to find the common difference, what we're going to do is 16 minus 28 over 3, which is negative 12 over 3, and that's negative 4. The reason why it's negative 4 is because as we're progressing in the sequence, the value of the term is decreasing. As you can see, the second term is 28, but the fifth term is 16, which means progressively it's going to reduce. That means you're subtracting a common number. So since negative 4 is our common difference, T first, which is the first term, is going to be 28 plus 4. That is 32. Why plus 4? Because you went backwards. If you're going forwards in the sequence, then we're subtracting. T3 is going to be 28 minus 4, which is 24. And then T4 is going to be 24 minus 4, which is 20. So these are your terms. Part B says these are the first 5 terms of a different sequence. Find an expression for the nth term of the sequence. So let's start with finding the common difference. 3 minus 9 is 6. 9 minus 19 is 10. 19 minus 33 is 14. And 33 minus 51 is 18. So as we can see, there's no common difference. Like there's 6, 10, 14, 19. Now if you find the difference between these differences, 6 minus 10 is 4. 10 minus 4 is 4. And 14 minus 18 is 4. This was our first difference. This is our second difference. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our second difference, which is 4, and divide that by 2. That's going to give us 2. This 2 is your coefficient of n square. Why n square? Because whenever the first difference is not like common and we're trying to find the second difference, and the second difference comes out to be like a common difference. So that means we have a quadratic sequence, not a linear sequence. So in a quadratic sequence, your n will be squared. And to find the coefficient of n square, what we do is we divide the second difference by 2. So since the second difference was 4, 4 divided by 2 is 2. So 2n square is what we have right now. So now if you make a table for 2n square and the sequence that we have, we know that with 2n squared, the first term is going to be 2. The second term is going to be 8 because 2 squared is 4 and 4 times 2 is 8. Third term would be 3 squared times 2, which is 18. And fourth term would be 4 squared 16 times 2, which is 32. So now if we compare these numbers with the original sequence, we had 3, we had 9, we had 19, and we had 33. So as we can see, between each of these terms, there's a difference of 1. That means our nth term is going to be 2n squared plus 1. Because if we use 2n squared plus 1, the 2 will become 3, the 8 will become 9, the 18 will become 19, and the 32 will become 33. So this is our nth term, 2n squared plus 1. Question 16 says t equals to square root of p minus 4. Work out the value of t when p is 40. So we do 40 minus 4, which is root 36, and that is going to equal to 6. Then it says rearrange the formula to make p the subject. T equals to square root of p minus 4. P squared equals to p minus 4. Why t squared? Because to get rid of a square root, we square both sides. So then t squared plus 4 is your formula for p. Question 17 has given us a table of values for heights of 80 plants. We have the cumulative frequency for the given range of height in centimeters. Draw a cumulative frequency diagram to show this information. For 2, we have 4. So 4 will come. First, we need to do 2, 4. This is it. Then 4, 18. That's going to be over here. 6 and 42. That's 6 and 42. And then 860. Wait. $860 is going to be here, and lastly, not lastly, 1072 is going to be 62, 64, 63. 62, 64, 66, 68, 72, 80. That is that. And 12 and 80. That's the last one. So if you join the dots, it's going to be a little rough. Yeah, that's basically your cumulative frequency graph. And then they're asking us, use your graph to find the estimate for the interquartile range. And plants that are sold when they're taller than 8 centimeters, 20 of the plants are sold, find the value of age. So the interquartile range, what we'll do is, we know that the upper quartile is going to be 3/4 of 80, which is basically the 60th value. And the lower quartile is going to be 1/4 of 80, which is your 20th value. So to find the 60th and the 20th value, 60th value is already, we know that, which is 8, and 20th is going to be, I think, 4 approximately. So interquartile range is 8 minus 4, and that's basically 4. Like that's what I'm getting based on my rough graph. And then it says to find the value of age when 28 plants were sold. Plants are sold when they're taller than 8 centimeters. 28 of the plants are sold. Find the value of age. So to find the value of age, what we'll do is we will first find the number of plants for that. So we're going to do 80 minus 28, find a number of plants. That's going to be 52. So at 52, we'll mark the point over here. So one second. 52 is going to be, this is 40, 42, 46, 2, 44, 46. I think that's 50 is going to be over here. 4, 60, no, that's 50. This is going to be 52. That's 54, 56, 58, 60, yeah. That's going to be 52, and the corresponding height for that is 7, 60, 62, 64, 66, 7, yeah. So 7 centimeters is your height. So your plants have to be taller than 7 centimeters. Question 18 says the diagram shows a speed time graph of part of a journey for two cyclists A and B. Find the acceleration of cyclist A during the first 20 seconds. For the acceleration, we'll find the slope of this line. That's going to be the gradient. So over here, the coordinates are 27, and over here, the coordinates are 0, 1. So we'll do 7 minus 1 over 20 minus 0, which is 6 over 20. And that's basically going to equal 3 over 10, and that is 0.3 meter per second square. Then it says, find which cyclist traveled further in the first 20 seconds and by how many meters. The area under the speed time graph gives us the distance, and slope of a speed time graph gives us the acceleration. So if you look at the area under the speed time graph for cyclist A and B, for A, it's a trapezium. So we're going to do 1 over 2 times the height, which is 20, times the sum of parallel sides, which is 1 plus 7. So that's 10 times 8, and that's 80 meters for cyclist A. For cyclist B, it's a triangle. Now for cyclist B, it's a rectangle. Basically, this is cyclist B. So that's going to be 5 times 20, 100 meters. So B is covering more distance by 20 meters, because if we subtract 80 from 100, that's 20 meters. Express as a single fraction in its simplest form. So since we're adding unlike denominators, we're going to start with making the denominators equal. If we look at the denominators for each of these fractions, we have 8, 4, and 16. All of these come in the 4 times table. So what we can do is we can make 4 times 4 over here, and we can do 8 times 2 and times over here. So now if we do that, we're going to have 16, 16, and the last 16 remains as it is. The denominators are equal now. For the numerators, it became 2 times x plus 1, 4 times 3x, and we have minus 5x, 2x plus 2 plus 12x minus 5x divided by 16. 2x plus 12x is 14x, 14x minus 5x is 9x. So 9x plus 2 over 16 is your answer. Question 20 says, factorize the following. So we're going to split it into two groups. This is the first group. This is the second group. So between 2CD and CE, we have C common. So C brackets 2D plus E. Between 6D and 3E, we have negative 3 common. So 2D plus E again. Then 2D plus E bracket C minus 3. Why C minus 3? Because between C minus 3, we have 2D plus E common. Then 3V square minus 27T square. We know 3 and 27 come in the 3 times table. So 3 bracket V square minus 9T square. Now, as you can see, V is being squared, 9 is 3 square, and T is also being squared. So this is a difference of perfect squares. Difference of perfect squares are the formula of a square minus b square equals to a minus b times a plus b, which means in our case it's going to be v minus 3t times v plus 3t. A is v and b is 3t. So that's your factorized version. Question 21 says the diagram shows a sector of a circle, center D and radius 3 by 4 y centimeters. The obtuse angle EDF is 6x. The diagram B shows a sector of a circle, center P and radius y centimeter. The sector angle is x. The length of the major arc is EF is 9 times the length of the arc QR. Show that x is 20. So what we're going to do is, let's make the formula for the arc for both the diagrams. So for A, it's going to be 360 minus 6x over 360 times 2 pi times 3 over 4y. For B, it's going to be x over 360 times 2 pi times y. Now your major arc of EF, which is for A, is 9 times the length of arc of QR, which is B. So that means 360 minus 6x over 360 times, I'm going to cancel the 2 over here, and that's going to be 2. 3 pi y over 2 is 9 times 2 pi x y over 360. So we know that the 360 is going to get cancelled out. The pi is going to get cancelled out. The y is going to get cancelled out. And basically what we're going to be left behind with is 360 minus 6x times 3 over 2 equals to 9 times 2x. Yeah, this is what we have right now. So we further simplify this over here. 360 minus 6x is equal to 9 divided by 3 times 2 times 2x. 3 ones are 3 and 3. So 360 minus 6x equals to 12x. 360 is 12x plus 6x, which is going to be 20x, which is going to be 18x. So 360 divided by 18 is 20. That is your value. Then it says find the value of y when the area of sector QPR is equal to 2 pi centimeter square. Area is going to be x over 360 times pi r square. 2 pi is equal to 20 over 360 because x was 20. Pi times y square. Zeros get cancelled out. 2 ones are 2. 2 18s are 36. Pi is getting cancelled out. So we have 2 times 18 equals to y square, which is 36 equals to y square. Square root of both sides. 6 is y. Question 22 says, show that x square minus 3x equals to 0. And we have this two set of like matrices being multiplied. So we'll do x times x minus 1 plus 3 times 2. Then 2 times x minus 1 plus 2 times x plus 1 equals to 2x plus 6 and y. X square minus x plus 6, 2x minus 2 plus 2x plus 2. So x square minus x plus 6, and over here we're going to have 4x. So they want us to show that x square minus 3x equals to 0. We put the x values equal to each other. X square minus x plus 6 equals to 2x plus 6. That's going to be x square minus x minus 2x plus 6 minus 6 equals to 0. And x square minus 3x equals to 0, which is what they wanted us to prove. Solve x square minus 3x equals to 0. So that's going to be x bracket x minus 3. One value of x is 0, and the other is going to equal to 3. Then find the value of y when x is greater than 0. So that means we're going to use x equals to 3. And if we go back to our equation, 4x equals to y. So we had 4x equals to y, and you put the y values equal to each other in the matrix. So 4 times 3, that's 12. So y is 12. Question 23 says a shop sells hats, scarves, and gloves. A group of 40 people are asked which items they buy in the shop. Some of the results are shown in the Venn diagram. 2 people buy all 3 items. Those people that buy both a hat and a scarf also buy gloves. 4 people buy exactly 2 items. So we have to complete this Venn diagram. So 2 people buy all 3 items. So 2 comes over here. Those people that buy both a hat and a scarf also buy gloves. That means there's no like set of people who buy just hat and scarf. So this is going to be 0. There's no 2 people that buy hats and gloves. So this is 0. But 4 people buy exactly 2 items. So that means it's going to be over here. Because they've already set a condition for hats and scarves, that whoever is buying hats and scarves is also buying gloves. So now we have a total of 40 people. So from 40, if we subtract 10, 5, 5, and 4, That leaves us with 16. So which means 16 people are just buying gloves. Work out the number of scarf intersection with hats, union, gloves, complement. So hat, union, glove, complement is going to be just this 10. So that's 10. Because hat, union, glove, complement is everything that is not included in hats and gloves. So that's 10 and 5. But since the intersection is between scarves and the complement, so we remove the 5 and our focus is just going to be on 10. So your answer is 10 for this. Question 4 says OAB is a triangle, P lies on AB and AP to PB is 2:3. OA is 4A and OP is 3A plus 2B. Find in terms of A and B, giving your answer in simplest form, AP. So AP is going to be AO plus OP, which is going to be negative 4A plus 3A plus 2B. Why negative 4A? Because we're changing the direction. O to A is 4A. So that means A to O would be negative 4A. So that's going to be 2B minus A. That's AP. Then it says, just going to write that down over here. Find OB. So to find OB, this is what we have to find. I'm going to find PB first. So PB, so AP over PB is given as 2/3. AP we already know as 2B minus A. So PB will be 3/2 times 2B minus A. That's PB. So since we have PB, we can say that AB would be AP plus PB, which is 2B minus A plus 3/2 times 2B minus A. That's going to be 4B minus 2A plus 6B minus 3A, and that is 10B minus 5A. So going back to finding OB, we're going to do is OA plus AB, which is going to be 4A plus 10B minus 5A over 2. That's going to be 8A plus 10B minus 5A over 2. And that is 3A plus 10B over 2. That is your OB. Then Q is a point on OA such that QP is parallel to OB. Find QP. So for QP to be parallel to OB, it has to be something like this. This is where your Q point has to exist. So OB we just found to be 10B plus 3A over 2. Okay. AP is given as 2 and PB is given as 3, which means the entire thing is 5. So if we were to compare these lengths, 2/5 is equal to QP over OB. So that means 2/5 of OB is your QP, which is going to be 5 times 10b plus 3a over 2. And that is going to be 1 over 5 times 10b plus 3a. So this shows that QP and OB are parallel.